I think we're online now. This is my vlog part 3, talking about depression. I'll go into details or more details about what happened yesterday. I just want to make sure to shout out a good friend of mine. He called me up last night. We spoke for 1 hour, I think, and we went through a lot of things that I've had issues with, and I think it helped a lot trying to get a grasp of things, and yeah, so that's the main thing. A lot of shit happened yesterday. I spoke to my TR, which is a representative from your workplace that can help you in any way, shape, or form with your current situation and such, right? And I spoke to her, and she was like, we spoke about vacation, and I wanted to talk about vacation when I had to have the next meeting. And for some apparent reason, she then said that I had a meeting on Wednesday, which I didn't get an invitation to, which was nice. And by default, then I got a little bit frustrated, which I think is reasonable, since I wasn't supposed to talk to her. And when I did talk to her, she said we had a meeting on Wednesday, and I was like, but I didn't get an invitation to that meeting. So I find this period extremely frustrating, and it doesn't help my depression whatsoever. I think that you need to make sure that, I mean, I need to focus on myself, and I need to focus on getting better, not necessarily just on satisfying my employer, who already fired me. So the thing is, I have to make sure that I'm happy with my life. I have to make sure that I'm gonna be happy for a longer period of time. Um, I don't want to make sure that they get the satisfaction of getting to fire me, and then afterwards getting the satisfaction of trying to kill me while I try to get back to work. So yesterday I spoke to my TR, and I got a surprise that I had to come to a meeting on Wednesday, which was pretty weird, since I didn't get the invitation from my current employer. And they were like, yeah, but there was a mistake in the system, and they had all kinds of excuses, right? So that was kind of annoying, but I guess that happens. Then I got an invitation, I think 1.5 hours later, that said I had to go to a meeting on Wednesday to talk about my sick leave, right? And the possibility of me returning to my job. And then I also got my hearing letter about my ass getting fired, since I've been sick on and off for a little while. First with my physical health, prolonged into being extremely exhausting, and then becoming where I was sick with my mental. Now I'm sick with my mental health. And I mean, depression is kind of a tricky thing because days seem to melt together, and they don't necessarily look like each other. So I might have a good day today, and I might have a bad one tomorrow. I might talk to you guys and seem fine, and tomorrow, or after this, I might crawl under my crawl into my bed and then cry, right? So it's a tricky situation for everybody to be in, and anybody to be in. So I respect it a lot. I've been sick with depression before, and that's why I speak about it openly. I think a very big part of the understanding of getting to know yourself is to talk about yourself. I know that seems egotistical, but yeah, I'm not doing it for the ego. I'm not doing it for. Hello, John. I appreciate you stopping by, man. Hope you have a great day, and welcome to the real talk about depression. I think depression is a very tricky situation, right? Because it can change very fast. It's very dependable on. I mean, a lot of things is dependent on your mornings, right? Always. Everybody hates Mondays, that's usual. Everybody think that Friday is a long work day because then it's up to a weekend and so forth. It's always the same excuse, always the same problem. That's why I always find it within myself to and also when I go back to work, I'm gonna be the kind of person that I'm always gonna say to myself and make sure that I tell myself that Monday is the most important day. It's the best day of the week because that's when the week starts. And I think that's a very positive outlook because then you start your week on a positive note. Then the week can't be, I mean, your job can suck. The kids can cry from you wake up in the morning until the end of time, right? And I think the most important takeaway is that if you tell yourself that the week is going to be amazing, then it's hard to lie to yourself, right? It's harder to lie to yourself than anybody else, because you know the truth deep within. So if you tell yourself a lie, you know it's a lie, and then you cannot convince yourself it's the truth. But you can always convince other people. Which is kind of the problem, right? But depression is the kind of thing that you have to respect. You have to talk openly about it. You have to be able to be a human being. And I think, as I spoke about in my last vlog, one of the things that we always have a problem with, and one of the things that I had a problem with myself and I still struggle with, is I try to maximize my time. So as a parent, I have responsibilities, right? So 1/3 of my life I sleep, almost 1/3 of my life, and 1/3 of my life I work. So there you go. That's 2/3 of your life just gone like that in an instant. And then you have work versus your interest, right? With versus your free time. And if you both have an issue with your work-life balance and your private life balance and your interest balance, then it becomes a very tricky situation to be in because you try to work on three different things, right? And that can be a very, very tricky situation. That's why I always say, even though you try to maximize yourself, you try to maximize your time. I think it's a very hard I think it's a very hard situation to be in, and I think you have to be real about it. Then you have to be truthful about it. So you have to make sure that even though you have issues, even though you have problems, you have to make sure that the problems do not overcome your personal boundaries or your truth within, right? So one thing that I've learned during my this depression and also my last one is you have to do things for yourself, even though they might seem egotistical. You have to do them for yourself because if you don't do them for yourself, you will never get to the point of where you want to go. And if you want to go somewhere within the space of your limited time on Earth, and you have to do something for yourself. You have to do something that you can grasp onto. You have to do something where you are in the center of both the solution and also the problem, right? Because for you to understand which kind of problems you have to find solutions. They can be micro solutions, they can be macro solutions, they can be all kinds of solutions. Also, you have to have goals. You have to have your goals, and they have to be strict, and you have to follow them in all. You cannot fault in those, right? You have to be extremely volatile about your life, and I think it's a very important lesson that you have to that you have to make short-term goals to maximize your goal at the end. So if the goal is for me to get healthy or get back to what I would categorize as normality, then I have to make sure that I respect and understand the problem that I have and the problems that I have. And I have to also make sure that by understanding them, I have to make sure that I know, can I fix them myself, or do I need help from someone else to fix them for me, or can I fix them with another person, right? Maybe a psychologist and so forth. And I think this is my take on my part 3. I think I'm gonna end here. I'm gonna be on again tomorrow, and also with a part 4. I would appreciate if you drop a follow, subscribe, on my channel. Um, I'll try to actually stream a little gaming later on today as well, just to try to see if I can do that. I appreciate each and everyone who stopped by. I thank you for your time. I'd like you to comment, of course, on my video so I can keep doing those pesky vlogs. Um, I appreciate each and everyone. Have a nice day. I'm out. Peace.